Hi, Michael Hellickson here with Club Wealth Coaching and Consulting, and today we're talking about delivering the ultimate home buyer experience. Now check this out. Most real estate agents are great at delivering high quality customer service. There's a difference between customer service and truly delivering the ultimate home buyer experience. Disney understands the difference between customer service and experience, the customer experience. You need to understand the difference between customer service and the customer experience. Let me start with this. It starts with the initial lead call. The second that call comes in, you literally have 30 seconds or less to respond to their call. That will impress them. That will wow them. Then you need to immediately give them what they want. Instead of trying to force them to jump through your hoops, make sure that you're answering their questions. Make sure you're delivering value. Make sure you're coming from contribution. Create a conversation. Make sure that you're developing rapport with them right off the bat. We call this building relationships on trust. When you build relationships on trust, people will begin to know, like, and trust you. When they do that, they'll do business with you. Now, on that initial call, the number one goal, the only goal that you have on that call, it's not to get them pre-approved. Your goal on that call is to get an appointment. That's it. You need to get face-to-face with these folks. Once you get face-to-face with them, you can begin, again, establishing that relationship on trust. Then, once you've set the appointment on that call, then and only then have you earned the opportunity and the right to finally say something like, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if they could save you a couple $100 a month on your mortgage payment, would you be interested in chatting with one of our lenders?" When they say yes, which almost all of them will, now you've earned the opportunity to have them chat with one of your lenders. They can get pre-approved, and you now are going to go out and meet with them. Regardless of whether or not they get pre-approved prior to your appointment, go on the appointment. Meet with these people face-to-face and begin developing that relationship. All right, now let's get really over the top. When we're out showing homes, one of the things we want to do is we want to have our stuff together. Check it out. Have your stuff together. What does that mean? Number one, arrive early. Don't be late, you guys. Early means 5 minutes ahead of time every time. Make sure you show up with a clean car. Last thing you want to do is be carting people around in a dirty car. Get this. Uber exists because people were sick and tired of being in a dirty cab. So along comes Uber and puts the cab companies out of business and completely changed the way that taxis are, that car service is handled now. So make sure you've got a clean car. Dress professionally. This is very, very important. What are we talking about? Guys, put a freaking tie on. I love it. I hear people from all over the country, "Oh, but Michael, I live in a warm climate, so I wear an Aloha shirt and a pair of Bermuda shorts." Well, good for you. You know what? The guy down the street, he wears a suit and he makes 10 times as much money as you do. Listen, show people that you have respect for yourself and they will respect you more. If you want them to trust you, look like somebody they can trust. Put a suit on, guys, put a tie on. Unless your name is Tristan Ahumada, shout out to my buddy Tristan, and you can get away with a t-shirt and a jacket, then great. But you know what? Tristan's crushing it. He's killing it. And when you're operating at his level, you can crush it too. All right, that being said, had neighborhood listings with you. I want to always have 4 or 5 other listings in the neighborhood that I can show them. So no matter what they decide with that particular house, I'm going to say to them, "Hey, you know what? I've got a couple other ones right around the corner you may want to take a look at as well. Why don't we go take a look at those right now?" Get them out there right now. Don't set a time for next week. Get them out there right now. I want to discuss things like tax rates, Mello-Roos if I'm in California, or school districts, or school test scores, those types of things. I want to have these conversations with them and about how that impacts their buying power in different areas, how that affects their kids' experience in different areas. I really want to go deep with them on what they're looking for and why. Understanding the why is very important. I also want to discuss off-market properties and foreclosures. This is very, very important. When you have off-market properties that you can talk with them about, that is a wow factor. That's something that goes above and beyond, and it's something that will really endear them to you as opposed to other agents because they think you've got what other people cannot provide them with. Offer your love it or leave it guarantee. This is a great one. One of the guarantees we love are USPs. We talk about unique selling propositions. We've got this on one of our other blogs, so check out the Club Wealth blog for this. You'll also be able to see the link at the bottom of this page. is the love it or leave it guarantee. So when you buy a home from me, if you don't absolutely love it in the first 18 months, I'll sell it for free. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details on that, but let me tell you, when you offer them a guarantee like that, that essentially reverses the risk. We take the risk away from the home buyer. Guess what? They appreciate that. It's something nobody else is doing, and it will show them that you are the kind of agent they want to work with. Another wow item. All right, show up in a limo. If you're showing high-end buyers homes, or if you're showing homes in high-end neighborhoods, maybe you could show up in a limo. In fact, I've even heard of agents grabbing a helicopter, throwing people in a helicopter, 200 them around the city, showing them all the different neighborhoods, all the different areas, and then bringing them back to planet Earth, throwing them in the car and going and showing them properties from there. What an awesome way to differentiate yourself from other agents. All right, now, when you're out showing properties, record videos of the showing. So literally, as they're looking through the house, grab a video camera, go through, maybe just use the one on your phone. It doesn't have to be fancy, but literally grab that camera on your phone and just take a little video of the property as you're walking through it. Take videos of their comments in the house, and then send it to them after the showing so that they can review all the properties you showed them. It will help them remember things about those properties, and they will be able to see their comments right there on the video. Great way to differentiate yourself, and again, it's a wow item. All right, how about having your VIP home buyer kits ready? These are very important. So what does an ultimate home buyer kit look like? Let's talk about that. Number one, have water bottles in your car. Make sure that they're able to get something cool to drink while they're out running around looking at houses with you. The last thing you want is for them to be worn out. That means also having some snacks in the car. Now, these could be like granola bars, it could be prepackaged nuts, in the little one-serving mixes, or packages, those types of things. But make sure you've got enough in there to give people some variety and keep them sustained so they've got the energy to continue looking at houses with you. Also, got to have your buyer agency agreement with you. If you expect them to sign a buyer agency agreement, it's a lot easier to get them to do that if it's in your car with you, along with pens. Make sure that you've always got, remember, 4 blue ink pens. We've talked about this before on other videos. 4 blue ink pens, very, very important. Always carry them with you at every time. That means you've got one for you, one for Mrs. Seller, one for Mr. Seller, and a spare in case one of them runs out of ink. Very important stuff. It'll really help you out. A clipboard so that they can walk through and take notes on each property. I actually like to give them the listing, have them rate each listing on a scale of 1 to 10, and when you get done, you can go through those listings and you can say, okay, here's the ones you rated as an 8, 9, or a 10. Which of those would you like to make offers on? Great stuff to wow a buyer. Again, being organized, even a little bit organized, is far more than any other agent they've looked at homes with. All right. I want to make sure that I've got those extra pens to hand to them so that they can do what they need to do on the listings. I want to have a flashlight. And ideally, I'd like to have flashlights for everybody. So I'll carry 4 flashlights in my car just in case. You may even carry more if you think you're going to be showing homes to somebody that's got multiple kids. That way everybody gets a flashlight in case the lights are off at these houses. And sometimes when you're showing REOs, a lot of times those lights aren't even turned on yet. So make sure you've got that with you. I want to have a tape measure. Ideally, I love those little electronic measuring devices where you can stick it on a wall and it does a laser measurement across the room so that they can get their room dimensions. That way they can mentally start placing their furniture. Once they start mentally placing their furniture, by the way, that's a buying cue. That's huge. Watch for that when you're out showing houses. All right. So umbrellas. I'm from Seattle. Let me tell you, one of the things that we've got to have are umbrellas. And along with umbrellas, what else do we like to carry? Galoshes. Got to have rubber galoshes in the car because guess what? Sometimes we roll up if we're on vacant land, or maybe we're at a property where the walkway up to the house is a mess, or maybe they just want to look around the backyard. Having umbrellas and having galoshes in your car will make it really easy for them to take a full and complete look at each and every property regardless of what weather conditions do to you. Also, you want to have rain ponchos in your car, just in case. You never know. You can even just keep them in the package. They come in at the store. You probably won't use these very often, but that one time you need them, you're going to be glad you've got them in your ultimate home buyer kit. All right, also maybe an extra pair of wool socks or something for some folks. For example, sometimes Mrs. Buyer, maybe she shows up to go look at homes in her high heels. You show up to a property that's got a bunch of muddy grass in the backyard, but she wants to go see the back 90. Well, hey, she's not going to jump into a pair of galoshes with no socks on whatsoever. Throw her a pair of wool socks, nice, good, brand new wool socks. In fact, I like to have them in the package so that they know they're a brand new pair of socks. Good stuff. Again, wow item. All right. So, Ultimate Home Buyer Kits for kids, check it out. Yes, we want to have them for the kids too. This is very important. We want to involve the kids in the process. Understand that kids packet needs to have snacks in it. For the kids, I'd recommend some fruit snacks, maybe some Cheerios. You can never go wrong with Cheerios. Coloring books, very important. And ideally, if you can find coloring books with houses in them, that's even better. Videos, maybe you bring a DVD player with you so the kids can be watching videos while you're out showing the house. And other things that you can think of that will help get those kids involved in the process. One of the things you might even consider doing is if you know they're going to be bringing the kids with them and their kids are, let's say, 5 years and older, you might, and maybe even a little older than that, you might even consider getting them a separate set of copies of the listings we're going to go look at, get them a pen, and ask them to rate the properties. Get them involved in the process. Get them excited about the process. And let me tell you something, when you get the kids on your side, game over, mom and dad are in your corner. Why? Because once mom's in your corner, dad just follows along. So make sure that we've got the kids in our corner for sure. All right. For a complete list of items that you can include in your home buyer kit for kids, make sure you check out the download on this page. We've got an entire list of things. Some of them aren't even mentioned on the video. That goes with the other kits as well. All right, after the showing, I want to write them a personal handwritten note. I want to put them on my newsletter list, my client appreciation program. This is all very important stuff. Now, on those handwritten notes, there's two ways you can do it. You can use send out cards, which is a great product. We love send out cards. We use them ourselves from time to time. And if you're interested in send out cards, reach out to our office or click the link at the bottom of the page. We'll certainly get you connected there. If you don't know what send out cards is, good thing to click on. Now, what I really, really prefer is personal handwritten notes where it's blue ink, broad tip pen, 3 to 5 lines, unique close, and the information in the upper right-hand corner that includes the date and time that you wrote it, the location where you were at when you wrote it. And if you'll believe me, if you'll follow that model for how to write those personal notes, you'd be surprised at the result. When they move into the home, I like to give them a moving day pizza, or if they're going to have 4 or 5 people moving in, or maybe I'll get them a couple of pizzas, but I like to give them pizzas on moving day. Even better than that is housewarming parties. Once they've actually moved in, throw a housewarming party for them. We've got a whole bunch of information on how to do housewarming parties available to you as well. The big key here is you're now inviting their friends and their new neighbors to welcome them into the neighborhood. You look like the hero, and you get the opportunity to meet a whole bunch of people that you otherwise would never have gotten to know. All right, new address return labels. So I'll literally get those Avery 30 to a sheet labels, and I'll put their new address on that so that when they're sending stuff out, they can stick that little label on there. They can even use that for the change of address form for the post office. There's lots more things that you can do shortly after the sale to ensure that you're delivering the ultimate home buyer experience, but make sure that you're taking advantage of a bare minimum of 10 wow items. That's 10 wow items for each and every home buyer experience. If you really want to knock it out of the park and you want to ensure that no matter what, they're going to send you referrals, take that to 30. For right now, I'll be excited if I can just get you to implement 3 of those things just right now. Make sure you add them to your systems. All right, then follow the Ultimate Client Experience Checklist. This includes things like client events, again, personal notes, pop-bys or stop by with swag. It includes all kinds of ways that you can provide those wows. Putting a big bow on the door when they close, right? So when they walk up to their new front door, hey, check it out, there's a beautiful bow there. Heck, maybe you even include the Welcome Home Starter Kit at closing. What does that mean? So instead of giving them a little client, a gift basket, with some, a lot of people like to do alcohol or something. I'm not a big fan of doing parties with alcohol. I'm certainly not a big fan of giving people alcohol when it closes. So why not do this? Why not instead give them something they're really going to use when they first move in, stuff that they would have forgotten, right? Throw in some toilet paper, some cleaning supplies, milk, cereal, light bulbs, paper or plastic bowls, utensils, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that will get them by for the first few days in their new home while they wait for an opportunity to go shopping. Just lay those things nicely out in a big array on the countertop. It's going to cost you way less money than if you do a typical closing gift. And you're going to get way more traction out of it because people are going to say, wow, you really thought about what our needs are really going to be when we move in. You've thought ahead about this type of thing versus just giving us a cliche closing gift like a lot of agents would do. So if you want to get that checklist, download that on our blog. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click on the link in the description to be taken to our blog so that you can download those checklists as well. Post-closing, you want to make sure you make a phone call to that client. Any surprises? Did you move in and have any surprises when you got there? Would you like us to send a handyman out for a half a day to help you fix anything that you moved in and found was not in the kind of condition that you would have expected? Also, I want to give them area info at this point, and I may have given it to them throughout the buying process, but after they move in, I want to give it to them again. That's information like daycare, activities they can do in the area, homeowners association president and other member contact info, all that good stuff. In all of this, I want to emphasize them as the rock star, not me. If I make them the rock star in every single thing I do, guess what's going to happen? They're going to think I'm a rock star because I made them the rock star. It really does work that way. All right, again, so for a complete list of all the different wow items you can do, click on the download on this page. Download that. It's absolutely free, and it will give you all kinds of stuff above and beyond what we've been able to talk about on this video. Again, my name is Michael Hellickson with Club Wealth. If you haven't already done so also, click on this page. There is a link for a strategy session where you can chat with one of our Club Wealth coaches. And unlike any other company out there, this is not a big sales pitch for coaching. It literally is a strategy session where we will go through exactly what you're doing in your business right now, where you'd like to be, what you've done in the past that's worked, what you've done in the past that hasn't worked, what you're willing to do to take it to the next level, and then we're going to give you a roadmap for exactly what to do over the next 12 months so that you can double your income and increase your free time all at the same time. So definitely click on that link. There's no obligation, there's no cost. Just click on the link, sign yourself up for a strategy session, and we'll be happy to help you out. Again, my name is Michael Hellickson. I'm with Club Wealth Coaching and Consulting. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and you hear me say this on all our videos. I want you to know that I truly mean it. Inside each and every one of you is a world-class beast waiting to come out. Unleash that beast on the world. You know that deep down inside you somewhere there's this world-class beast. You've got to let it out. You are world-class.